Joel, can I get your honest opinion about this week's Kids Corner?
I think I could do that.
Okay, what do you honestly think about what we're going to be learning about this week?
Honestly?
Honestly.
To tell the truth, I'm excited about it, to be honest. How about you?
Oh, honestly, do you even have to ask?
I confess, I didn't. Let's get started.
And now it's time for your favorite honest game show, Tell the Truth. And here's your favorite host, Brian Candor.
Hey, folks, I'm honestly glad to see you here for today's show. You know the game. Every time the contestants say something true, they get a point. If they say something not true, they lose 10 points. Are you ready, folks?
Coming from a small town near you, she's got brown hair and loves to tap dance. It's Laura Marshall. And from a local hamlet not far away, she thinks golf is for losers and folds her own clothes. It's Kimberly Porter.
How you doing, contestants?
Great. Excited to be here.
Glad to hear it, Laura.
I'm actually really nervous. Happy, but nervous.
That's a great start. Already a point each on the board. You two know how to play. We just explained it to the audience, so if you don't remember, rewind the episode about 20 seconds. Okay, let's go on to our first question.
Oh, it's getting even more tense in here.
All right, Laura. Before you went to bed last night, did you remember to brush your teeth?
Huh?
Before you went to...
No. I mean, that's a pretty personal question.
But it should be easy to answer truthfully, right? I mean, everyone remembers to brush their teeth.
Well, I guess people forget sometimes.
Kimberly, you remembered to brush your teeth, right?
Of course I did.
Okay, Laura. Kimberly's ahead on points now. Will you tell the truth to tack on your point, or do you want us to skip this question and basically hand the game to your opponent?
Fine. I forgot.
Forgot what?
Last night, I forgot to brush my teeth before going to bed.
Fantastic! I mean, you really should take care of your teeth, but you told the truth, so that's another point. Oh, and you know what that means, folks? It's time for the current confession. That means our contestants are going to have to tell the truth about something that's happening right now. Okay, girls, hands on the buzzer. Here's the question. What do you want to do right now?
Listen to a radio program on the radio.
Nice! Laura's back in the game, and lucky for her, it's time to listen to a program. We'll be right back after this.
So anyway, my dentist said I need to start brushing and flossing more, which, I mean, he's right. But then as I left the office, they gave me a lollipop. I mean, really?
That doesn't really line up.
I know! It's like, what are they doing out there?
Who?
Mr. Jacobs and Mr. Bryan. They've been carrying a whole bunch of tools and stuff out back all morning.
Really? And you didn't go out and see what was up?
And miss out with listening to the radio?
You know we have these portable radios, right? We can just take one of these out there.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, let's go see what's going on.
What was the angle you needed on this beam, Lionel?
According to the plans, we'll need them at 45.
Got it.
What's going on out here?
Hey, girls, we're making Flynn a new doghouse.
Yeah, see?
You made blueprints?
Of course. You can't make something without a plan.
Oh, it looks nice. Very classic.
This isn't your typical doghouse. You have heated floor, ventilation fan, watering station, and a little sun deck.
Yep, Flynn's been enjoying being outside lately, so I figured I'd give him a little hangout so he's not having to go in and out so much.
This is really cool. I might come hang out at Flynn's doghouse instead of the garage.
Just put this portable radio in there and it'd be perfect.
We might want to add that to the design, Lionel.
Well, I'll look into it.
So, what are you girls doing today?
Not much. Laura was talking about going to the dentist, and I was talking about a show my mom watches on TV.
And we were listening to the radio, too.
Cool. I don't think the dentist sounds very fun, but listening to the radio does have a certain appeal.
We can listen to it out here while you guys work.
That sounds like a good time.
I'll start it up.
Hey, Lionel, I think we might have a problem.
Problem?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, these rafters, they're not meeting up at the top here. See?
Yeah, you're right. I wonder what went wrong. Let me get the measuring tape and check.
What's going on, Mr. Jacobs?
Just figuring out what went wrong with this part of the doghouse, Laura. I thought we had it all figured out.
Will you have to start over from scratch?
I don't think so, but we'll find out soon. Want to hold this end of the tape measure for me, Kimberly?
Sure.
Oh, wait. I know what happened. You said these boards needed to be cut at 45 degrees, didn't you?
Yeah.
The saw's set to cut at 40.
Well, that would do it.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem. All forgiven. I'm just glad it was an easy fix.
Me too.
Phew. I thought the whole project was messed up.
Nah, Lionel's plans are too good to get messed up by a little thing like that.
I don't know about that, Brian. Even a perfect plan isn't foolproof. If those involved aren't honest with each other, then it doesn't matter what kind of plan they have.
Honest? What does honesty have to do with building a doghouse?
Well, it's like what happened just now. If I had been too ashamed or proud to admit that I had made a mistake, this whole project would take longer to finish.
Well, that's a good thing to keep in mind for more than just building projects. Confessing our faults to each other is something that God has told us to do in verses like James 5:16.
And you have a drama script about it?
I was actually going to talk more about that verse, but I guess I can take a look at what I have in the old file cabinet.
Great.
And while I fix these angles and Mr. Jacobs goes to look for a script, why don't you girls start up the next program?
All right.
And now, from the garage of Lionel Jacobs comes the agricultural drama, The Troublesome Gophers, an adapted biblical teaching about relationships. Once upon a time, on a farm down the road, there lived a farmer.
Jade's the name. I know the place doesn't look like much, but I'm getting ready to plant a lovely orchard on this hillside.
And plant an orchard she did. She laid down soil, pulled up rocks, cleared out brush, and dug the holes for the new trees.
They're coming in Monday. Apple trees, peach trees, pear trees, plum trees. It's gonna be wonderful.
So I can imagine.
Yeah, us too.
Lovely. Absolutely lovely.
Who are you?
Us? Right, we're gophers.
Pamela and Jack, nice to meet you.
You might recognize us from the title.
I see. I wasn't paying attention to the title.
Oh, good. You see, we are looking to start a family, and we want somewhere nice to set down roots. And with you planting an orchard here, it's like a perfect fit.
You plant the orchard, and we move in. Golden!
But, and forgive me, I don't know if I want a family of gophers tearing up my orchard.
Look, dearie, I understand your concern, but really, there's no need for it at all. Look how small we are. How could two little gophers do any harm to your orchard?
Pamela is right. You won't even know we're here.
Well, all right, as long as you don't hurt my trees.
And so a deal was made and the gophers burrowed under the soil. Jade went back to work, and by the next Friday, all of her beautiful trees had been planted and watered and were enjoying the bright sunshine.
And they taste mighty fine, too.
You've been eating my trees?
Just a couple of nibbles. I had to save some for the kids.
The kids?
Why, yes! We just had 15 kids. Our little families are growing, and we've got more on the way.
Wait, no! 1 or 2 gophers aren't too much of a problem, but 17?
A little more than that. We wrote to our families, and we told them about how wonderful it is here, and they're all coming by to visit.
Darling, your brother Earl wanted to know if you wanted to come by the new burrow. They just moved in by Jade's apple saplings. At least, where the apple saplings used to be.
My apple trees!
Tell them we're on our way. Okay, kids, finish up these plum saplings, and we're going to Uncle Earl's.
Ah!
The moral is that when it comes to relationships, when we notice a problem, we need to gently take care of it. We can do this by talking to each other, by praying together, and looking at what you can do as a team to fix it. Sometimes it might seem easier to just let the problem stay, but problems have a tendency to grow, and given enough time, a lot of damage can be done. Kind of like a family of gophers taking over an orchard.
Okay, girls, what do you think?
I think the drama script about the gophers was pretty fun, but I had a couple questions about it.
Oh, I was talking about the almost finished doghouse, but sure, the drama was fun too, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's looking good, Mr. Bryan.
Yeah.
What's your question, Kimberly?
Well, first, I wanted to know what verse in the Bible the story was based off of. I don't think I know a verse about gophers.
I can't think of one off the top of my head either. No, this verse was from Song of Solomon, and it was about foxes and grapevines. But I thought I'd adapt it a little to avoid having to explain everything.
Like you are now.
Right.
Okay, thanks. Next, you were going to tell us about James 5:16 earlier?
Oh, right. About confessing our sins to each other. Well, that verse is talking about how, when we admit we've done wrong things, that's when we can be forgiven for them.
1 John 1:9.
Exactly. But sometimes we get the idea that we only need to admit our wrongs to God. But he tells us in that verse that we need to be open about our faults with our fellow Christians.
Yeah, Matthew 18:15 and Ephesians 4:32 are a couple more that talk about how as God's family, we need to live holy lives together, forgiving and dealing with our faults together.
Okay, but do we just confess to any Christian? Or do we have to confess to our pastor or our parents or someone else in charge?
The Bible doesn't give requirements, but I would say that it needs to be someone that you can trust. If that's your pastor or parents, that's great. But it's good to use wisdom in things like this. Some Christians struggle with gossiping or being insensitive about the things we might be saying or feeling. Instead of that kind of person, I would talk to Christians who will pray with you and help you grow closer to God, like it says in Galatians 6:2.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, thanks. Any other tips?
If I may,
Oh, sure, Brian.
one last thing I'd say is you need to be humble enough to listen to the advice you might get when you confess to stuff you do wrong. Sometimes, when you're trying to make things right, you're going to have to eat crow.
Wait, what?
I think it means you're gonna have to be humble.
Sorry, yeah. It's not always going to feel good, but like it says in Proverbs 21:6, sometimes when a friend corrects you, it can hurt. But they are doing it because they love you.
It might take a little wisdom to know when that's happening. But if you ask God for wisdom, he'll give it to you.
Yeah, I think you've said that before.
Well, probably.
Well, we'd better get going. Someone here needs to brush her teeth.
Hardy har.
See you later, girls.
Bye.
Good luck with the project.
Thanks.
Well, Brian, it looks like we just need to test the wiring.
Yep, I'll plug everything in. After I unplug the radio, that is.